So today I'll be reviewing Pokemon Journeys episode 117 versus Cynthia Iris the Path to be a Dragon Master. This was the third match of the Masters 8 tournament first round with Iris versus Cynthia, so let's talk about it. So the episode starts off with Ash mentioning that Iris's Excadrill has been with her since it was a Drober, and I thought Ash mentioning that was great because it gives viewers who didn't watch the black and white anime context as to why Iris, a Dragon type specialist and a Dragon Master in training, would use a non-Dragon type. Something else I enjoyed was how Team Rocket recognized Iris and were cheering for her in the battle throughout the episode. We also got to see more of the champion interactions with them talking about how Iris knows Cynthia, and Leon mentioning how this could be a changing of the guard. After that we switch over to the battle where we get a flashback of Iris when she battled Cynthia in black and white, and while Iris was thanking Cynthia and saying that her advice led her to becoming champion, we got to see several of the characters from the black and white series like Drayden, along with rivals like Bianca, Georgia, Stefan, and Trip, not to mention former champion Alder. Then for Cynthia's cameos we got to see Volkner, who was watching the battle with Flint, as well as Paul, who was watching with Reggie, which I thought was pretty cool. So then we get to the battle and Cynthia was definitely the more strategic one, but unlike Lance, Iris had a way of making up for it with her creativity and offensive battle style, which is why she was able to get the first win despite being at a disadvantage. After that, Cynthia sends out Milotic, who makes quick work of Excadrill with Hydro Pump, so Iris sends out Dragonite, who was able to land a few critical thunder punches on Milotic, but Cynthia countered with Disarming Voice and finished off Dragonite with Iron Head, making this a 2v1 battle. I know some people expected more from Dragonite since it's supposed to be one of Iris' strongest Pokemon and it's a Dragonite, but unfortunately it's been a jobber for a while now and facing Cynthia definitely doesn't help. So after that, Iris sends out her final Pokemon Haxorus and tells Cynthia that it's the one that finished off the battle that made her a champion, and we get to see the two of them go back and forth before Haxorus takes out Milotic with a breaking swipe, making this a 1v1 battle with Garchomp versus Haxorus, and Cynthia starts off with Draco Meteor and Haxorus charges in with Outrage and goes blow for blow with Garchomp, and it ends up confused afterwards, but like we saw in the battle with Ash, Iris taught Haxorus to headbutt the ground to shake off the confusion, which shocks and impresses Cynthia as well as Leon. Then Cynthia responds to Iris's determination by saying that she'll defeat her with all her might and reveals her Keystone, which shocks everyone as she Mega Evolves her Garchomp, and once she does we get a Mega Garchomp and Haxorus clash as they go head to head, and Iris is able to lock in and connect with Dragonite, but once Cynthia decided that she wanted to end the battle, we get a Draco Meteor and Dragon Pulse collision that ends with Garchomp being the last one standing, so Cynthia wins and advances to the semi-finals. After the battle, Iris declares that she's going to get stronger and thanks Cynthia for an unforgettable battle. We also get to see Ash's reaction after the battle, and although he didn't say anything, I think his silence spoke volumes as to how sad he felt for Iris as he silently walked away. After that, we see him talk to Iris in the hallway as she breaks down crying, which was actually sad because you know that she wanted that win badly, but after expressing herself she smiles and says that she feels better and will cheer for Ash in the next round with Go. And the episode ends with Ash making his way to battle Steven in the next episode. This was a great episode and probably the best Masters 8 battle so far, which is what I was expecting. I really enjoyed seeing all the cameos from the Univo and Sinnoh characters. I'm surprised we didn't see Cilan for Univo or Dawn for Sinnoh since both of them know Iris and Cynthia. You could say that we've seen enough of Dawn, which is understandable, but I'm really surprised we didn't see Cilan at all when all they could have done is just throw him in with all of the other Univo characters, but instead we got nothing for Iris's only battle, which is pretty surprising. Cameos aside, I also really enjoyed the references in Flashback to the Universe series, as well as the interactions with all the champions. I noticed Lance wasn't with the others, so I'm wondering if he left or if he's up to something else. When it comes to the battle, I thought it was well executed. It wasn't as strategic as the Diantha battle, but it was more creative, which is something I enjoyed. I'm kinda surprised Iris didn't have a gimmick at all. I know none of her current Pokemon have a Gigantamax form or a Mega Evolution, which is why I thought they should have given her a Gigantamax Lapras, but I thought she was going to at least Dynamax her Haxorus to make things more interesting. But even without a gimmick, she was able to be ranked 7th in the Masters 8 tournament and take Cynthia to her final Pokemon in its Mega Evolved form, which is a major feat as a Dragon type trainer. The last thing worth mentioning when it comes to this episode is the music. I noticed they used a lot more of the old soundtracks from the Best Wishes and Diamond and Pearl series in this episode, which is something I really enjoyed. This was probably done because Iris and Cynthia were introduced in those series, but I wish they would use them more often. Overall, this episode gets a 9 out of 10 for me, and I can't wait for Ash vs Steven Stone in the next episode. Be sure to leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and bye.